All right. We are live. Yes, we are. Fantastic, fantastic. All right, guys. Welcome to today's edition of Market Update Time. We're going to be looking at what's happening in the markets right now and what's going on, and we'll be going over all the charts as well. We'll be going over the stock market, what's happening with the stock market, the metals, and also I'm going to be covering something that's really important to your success. Markets have the stock market, the metals, and also I'm going to be covering something that's there we go. All right, cool. So and also I'm going to be covering so some things that's really, as I said before, really important to your success in the markets and how you should proceed by looking at the markets, because a lot of people get this wrong when approaching the markets. I don't make the market, I don't create the market, I don't push this market around, and the thing is that it's important to us to flow with the market, to flow with the market when we're trying to trade the market. So that's what I want to cover in today's session here, guys, and what this is all about. Now, the first thing I must do, guys, is let me bring up the typical disclaimer. And so, guys, do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There's no guarantees of making a profit in the market, or on any given single one trade. So you must be smart and intelligent about the way that you're doing things in the markets. Now, guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you go down to mastertraderlab.com to grab your free trial to everything you can see on the screen right now. The trading, the Grab the Markets by the Balls trading courses, and I've got 4 different trading courses as well too. Bonus breakthrough, and you're going to get a free trial to that, to that as well too. So if you want to get access to all this, test it all out for free, then you can go down to mastertraderlab.com. Also, guys, if you would like to get access to my private coaching program, we get access to my #1 strategy, weekly coaching, and for the rest of this year, and also get access to the Facebook group where I'm posting my trades every single day, every single week, and also interact with the other private clients. Then the very first link in the description, click on that. It's an application only, because I don't let anyone else in. I've got one spot that I've just opened up as well too for that, or one spot has just opened up. So click on the very first link in the description below. Go fill out the application form, and I'll be glad to talk to you, see if it's a good fit for both of us. Alrighty, guys. So the one thing that I want to get into with the markets right now is this, okay? And one thing that a lot of people really have a hard time getting around or understanding the markets, or understanding what's going on right now, understanding how to really view the actual market itself is what's really important, guys, to do is we must flow with the market. Okay, we must flow with the market. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean by this, okay, so many people, if they have a biased view today, okay, so if the market is still looking pretty bullish today, if we're looking at a daily chart right now, the market's looking pretty bullish right now. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying in general terms, okay, if the market's looking pretty bullish right now and we're still getting a nice movement to the upside, then that's what's happening today, especially if we're looking at a daily chart, okay? But 1 or 2 days later, that picture or that tune can start to change. It can start to go from, okay, we've got a nice upward trend and the buyers are pushing this higher, to, okay, something's changing right now. Something is really changing in the markets, and we need to figure out exactly where we start to move forward in these markets here. And the most important thing, okay, the most important thing to you as a trader is that you flow with the market and you don't try and fight the market. See, as I was saying before, a lot of traders get this wrong when they're trying to trade the markets. And they're trading the markets, they're very, it's very hard for them to be fluid with the market. So for example, if the market's looking quite bullish right now and you're trading a daily chart, 1 or 2 days or one decent bar can start to change the tune on what that market is telling you right now. So I may have done a video last week saying, gold stocks look like they may break out. And then suddenly 1 or 2 days later, I'm doing another video saying everything's starting to change right now. The tune's changing. It looks like we're starting to get a bit of downward movement. You can't, you've got to be, that video or whatever I do at that point is at that time when I'm looking at the market. It's never about, it is never about, okay, this is definitely going to happen. This is what the market's doing right now. And it's never about trying to be right with the market. It's like, okay, this is what the market's telling me right now. This is what's going on in the market right now. And so on and so forth. So I must start this session off with that there, because it's so important, guys, that we flow with the market. Okay. We don't be so rigid and we don't be so biased with the market. Now, obviously, the most important thing to you as a trader is that you have your charting analysis, like we read the charts, but then you also be looking at the market and you also be trading the market with a trading plan, right? So I'm in a couple of trades myself right now as I speak. Well, I'm in one as I speak, and then I'm also trying to get in. I'm trying to get filled to today when the market, or tonight when the market opens up, my time, into two more trades. So the thing is that, but those trades are based on a particular trading setup, a trading plan. I know most of those trades are going to make a profit. Simples, right? But when it comes down to analysis of reading the charts, that's when you start to say, okay, this is what the market's telling me right now. And then as the market starts to unfold, it's important that you flow with the market as well too. Be fluid with the market. Don't be trying to be rigid with the market, because especially depending on what time frame you're looking at, if you're trading a 10-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, then guess what? You can start to have multiple different trends within one trading session. You know what I mean? Like the 15-minute chart may be very bullish today, and then suddenly 2 or 3 days later, it's like, okay, we're now very bearish. So you must flow with whatever chart you're looking at and not be so rigid. It's like, okay, well, and the most important thing to you as a trader is to look at the market and analyze the market with a non-biased view and say, okay, market, you tell me what's going on right now. And then tomorrow's bar, is that story continuing, or is the story changing? And then that's what we do in the markets. And it's interesting that a lot of people come to my videos and they say, oh, charts mean nothing. Well, the thing is that the only thing we can believe in, or that the only thing that we can trust in, is the chart itself. It is nothing else. We cannot trust in anything else. And a lot of people say that I don't talk about the plunge protection team, or I don't talk about this, or I don't talk about that. None of that really matters to you in like, okay, how does the plunge protection team help you make money out of the markets? It doesn't. The plunge protection team, you may say the plunge protection team exists. Okay, where was the plunge protection team when we started to go through a big severe drop down, down to 2150 on the Dow Jones? Oh, well, John, that's where the plunge protection team came into it, and they supported that 2150 and they brought it back up. But then, you get the exact same people say, oh, well, the plunge protection team's holding up the Dow Jones right now. It's like, come on now. Are you serious? Are you listening to yourself? Or the plunge protection team came in today and no. It's like, yeah, like a lot of people think, oh, the plunge protection team came in today, or, the plunge protection team is holding the market up right now. That they're not letting it crash. Where were they? Where were they at the end of this year? Or at the end of last year? And at the start of this year? And so, guys, you must look at the market as in truth, right? Stop believing all this other bullshit out there that it's not going to help you at all when trying to trade these markets. And so the only thing we can do is analyze the price and analyzing what's going on in the market, and then we can form at least an opinion based on what the chart is telling us, and then we have some probability of what's likely to happen moving forward. Remember, the key is probability, never being right. You don't have to be right to be rich. Stop trying to be right with the market. Okay, so many people are trying to be right with the market. What I mean by that is, like, they're trying to think they know what's going to happen. or they think they need to know what's going to happen. See, one of the biggest things that most traders don't understand is that with any trading setup, there's a probability, right? And a lot of people, firstly, the way that most people trade is that they may take 10 trades, and every single one of those 10 trades is completely different from all each other. So there is no probability base. There is just, they're trying to make money on every single trade. That's not how trading is done. If you want to be in this trading field, okay, if you want to be in this trading field, then you must understand what your job is and how you approach these markets. How you approach these markets is based on a probability basis. It's never about making money on any single given one trade. But how do you get that probability basis? How do you get that probability basis if you're only taking one trade based on this and one trade based on that and one trade based on this? There is nothing there, right? See, most people, they're trying to make money on every single one trade, but that's not how trading is done. That's not how successful trading is done. And you must understand, if you want to become into this field on a stock market trader or an investor or whatever you want to call yourself, you want to come into this field knowing the path ahead. Knowing the path ahead. And what is the path ahead? The path ahead is to be trading a setup that's going to give you a probability. And you take that one setup 10 times and you might have a 60% win-loss ratio. That means 4 of those trades would have had a losing trade and 6 of those were profitable trades. That's how successful trading long-term is done in these markets. It's never about being right with the market, thinking you know what's going to happen, all that sort of stuff, because you don't. The most successful traders trade like that. They might have a 65, 70% win-loss ratio. And if you want to become into, if you want to get involved with these markets and get ahead in these markets, you must understand how to play the game. And what I mean by that is that you must understand, if you really want to get ahead, how to get ahead in these markets. Instead of saying, I'm placing this trade today, and if it makes money, then I'm right. And if it doesn't make money, then I'm wrong. Like, who cares about that? I have losing trades. Doesn't mean I was wrong. No. If I followed my trading setup and my trading plan, and most of my trades do run on for profits, but I do have losing trades, that was just one of those trades that were 10 or 10% of the time that I do have losing trades. It's not that I was wrong. If I got into the trade because I thought, or it just looked good and I made money, that is wrong. It's not that you were right. How can you replicate that throughout your entire trading career? Build that solid foundation so you can build that confidence in the way that you approach these markets so you can feed the family for the rest of your life. Because I guarantee you right now, guys, and that's where, like with people in my coaching program, that's the reason why I give them one particular trading setup that if they follow it, most of the time it's going to run on for a nice profit. Most of the time. And if they continue building that confidence, you're going to feed your family for the rest of this life. And so it's so important that when you're trading these markets, you understand what you're getting into. And if you want to get ahead in these markets, then it starts with that foundational basis of trading something on a continuous basis. Not every single trade is based on something different. Like a lot of people are short in the market right now because they think it's short. They think the market's going to crash and this is the top. Because some other video said this, or this said this, and this said that. It's like, we don't know. Or some people are buying the VIX right now, or TVIX, or all these other leverage VIX options right now because they think they're going to be right with the market. But the thing is, like, if you are trading like that, let's just say, for example, you were right. I'm using air quotes right now. You were right with the market, and you shorted the market right now, and it went down, and you made a profit. Okay, cool. Call it you made 100% return or 200% return your trading options. Cool. Yippee-doo day. Tell me how you can replicate that for the rest of your life. You can't. So you can never build the true confidence to start putting on decent size amount of money per trade. And if you do, and if you are trading like that, and you may get in because, okay, you think it's a good idea, and you were right and you made money, and you did that with the next trade, you'd maybe tried to buy the bottom or the top or whatever, and you made money in the second time because you were right. It wasn't because of a plan. Let's say you made money. Cool. This is where the ego, this is where us guys, right? We have to throw the ego out the window. Like I learned this the hard way. Throw your ego out the window, guys. Men, I'm talking to you guys. Women, you guys are much better. You ladies are much better. Women, they're good. Us men, we're our egos. Whoa, I got it right. It's like, no. Right? And so what ends up happening, right? You may be trading that way. Oh, well, it looks like it's going to be top right now. This video here and this research here and this it's not based on a plan. So you short the market. Okay, you made money. Cool. Next time you get into it, okay, well, I'm gonna buy gold here or short gold here because it looks like a good idea. I watched the video, did my analysis, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna get in here. Okay, cool. You made money. And let's say you did, and then the third time, oh, you know what? I'm looking at Facebook right now. On Facebook, I've done all my research and then fundamental analysis, and I'm gonna trade this market right now. And when I trade this market right now, I'm gonna make money. All right, or I trade this market. Okay, let's say you do make money. Notice how all those different and those 3 different trades, you made good money. All right, let's just say you put a decent size amount on, you made some really, really good money. Now guess what? Now guess what's gonna happen on the 4th or 5th trade if that happens 2 or 3 or 4 times. The 4th or 5th trade, you are going to triple up because you've got this. You're the man. You know exactly what's going to happen. Remember, you haven't been following some sort of plan that's going to give you some sort of consistency long term. And suddenly what ends up happening on that trade, you end up getting smacked out. Not only do you lose all the profit that you made because it wasn't based on consistency or a discipline of a trading setup, but now not only do you get smacked hard, not only do you lose your profit, but you hold on longer than you should because you don't want to be wrong, because the last 3 or 4 times you were right. And now because you don't want to be wrong, you hold on as long as you have to. And I've spoken to people like that who stay in the trades. Well, technically I'm at a loss, but I haven't closed the trade yet. So therefore I haven't had a loss yet. I haven't had a loss yet. I spoke to one guy who had a $38,000 trading account and his losses were like 20 grand. But John, I haven't actually made those losses yet because I haven't closed my account out. It's like, come on, man, are you serious? So his ego was, well, I haven't actually closed them out yet, so I haven't actually really made a loss yet. Oh no, that could come back later on, and they hold on and hope and hope and hope and hope and hope and hope and hope. And before you know it, not only did you lose all the profit that you made by being right with the market, but now you've been smacked by 50 or 180% of your account that's just got wiped out on one trade. There's so many times. Guys, I've done it so many times. Right? So what I'm saying here is that if you get into a trade based on something that just looks good or thinks good or based on a video or something like that, and you make money, that is wrong. But if you've proven to yourself a trading setup and you got into a really good trade and that was a losing trade, that was right. You got to flip it upside down. Right? You got to flip it. You've got you got to flip it upside down to say, okay, if you want to, what does my book say? I gotta look at it. And I'm starting this off, guys, with this year. I'm starting this off this week with this because it's so important to get it's so important to get this foundation right for you guys. I'm just flicking through my book now, guys. This is my book that I give my private clients. If you are interested in becoming a private client of mine, getting my #1 strategy, weekly coaching, stuff like that, first link in the description. All right. So the statement goes like this. Okay. The statement goes like this, and this is so important to to understand here, and it's just understanding this. Um, 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 I'm just trying to find it. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Here's the thing, guys. If you don't trade the market to make money, right? Now hear me out here, right? I don't trade the market to make money. I make money because I'm a good trader. See that saying there, right? Now what constitute a good trader? A good trader is someone that has a good foundation of a plan that they follow, that most of the time it's going to make a profit. And if they know, okay, 9 times out of 10, this is going to make a profit, and some of those profits are going to be small profits, so we must accept that, and some of them are going to be really good profits, and then 10% of the time you're going to have losses, and some of those losses are going to be decent losses, and but most of the time they're going to be much smaller losses. Okay, cool. You can work with that, right? So I don't trade the market to make money. I make money because I trade, right? Because I'm a good trader. A good trader is not trying to be right with the market, because once again, if you get into a trade and it was a good setup, but it still actually was one of those losing trades, you went wrong. So many people these days, there's so much emotion tied to their positions, right? So as I was saying before, I've got a couple of positions going on right now. Oh crap. I've got a couple of positions going on right now in the market. Just give me a sec, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. All right, I hope you guys try to understand. This is the way to move forward, right? And my job from trading these markets, my job is to trade the market, right? My job is to just follow my plan that is proven. And I know most of the time, if I do that, I'm going to make money. And if nothing else, right? And nothing else. That's what it comes back down to. Now, guys, this plan could be anything. It could be a flag formation. It could be ascending or descending triangle patterns. It could be, I don't know, it could be it could be a nice reversal candle at a really good support level. Maybe it's a hammer, or maybe it's an engulfing candle, right? Or every single one of these make a difference, like do work. But that's not about doing it once or trading it once. No, it's about doing it again and again and again and again. Like the trades that I'm in right now or getting into right now. Every single one of those meet a set of plan, meet a set criteria. And every single one of those look almost identical to each other because they meet a set plan, a set criteria, a set trading setup. Right now, there's slight differences. There's slight differences, but every single one of those meet a set of rules. But they look almost identical to each other. The actual setup and then the entry. But I know exactly what the setup looks like, and I know exactly what my entry candle or my entry bar looks like for me to start getting involved with this market. So that's basically what you want to do, and that's basically how you can start to move forward in a big way by understanding that. Okay, so it's really, really, really important. So let's actually get into the actual stock market right now, guys, and we'll get straight into let's actually get straight into the actual markets, and I'll get into the questions, guys. So firstly, moving on through to the Dow Jones. I'll bring up the moving average here. The Dow Jones, you can see right now that the Dow Jones is really, really starting to look quite it's really starting to look quite bullish right now. We've got time has now caught up. We spent now, man, how long has that been now? Really gone sideways. Really, it's well, wow, it's about a month and a half sideways. We've built up a lot of time here, haven't we? So if we start to break out of this here, like we're doing right now, then this actually could be quite another nice big move to the upside. So as I've been saying, guys, for quite some time, this may be getting ready. The buyers are still in control. They haven't changed yet. The buyers are still in control. But what's actually going on right now is the fact that if we get a nice break out of this, then this is likely to be a continuation of this here. Same for the S&P 500. We're just really holding here strong. Higher low. This is still could be another high low through here. So just the buyers are still looking really, really strong here, guys. Nice little higher low through here. All right, nice little higher low. We do have a lot of stuff going on here right now, but the main part here is that this higher low through here. We have a pullback here, small bars. So we may be getting ready for another good run here. Again, that Dow Jones is the one that I'm really, really, really focused on and really looking out here. So so that's basically what's going on there with the Dow Jones. Moving on to the metals right now. So looking on to gold, has had pretty much a nothing day. That was last week there. But we did get what we got here was a nice break, nice lower high, a nice breakdown. So I do expect to see more downside to come, at least a run down towards these 1280 levels here, only because of what's going on through there. And on the silver price, the silver's actually made a bit of a double bottom here, but there's now a lot of pressure on this here. For there's a lot of pressure on silver price right now. If we start to break below these lows through here, which I do think is going to happen, I do think, but based on this lower low, then a lower high and a breakdown, a little bit of a bounce off here, support. I do believe we're likely to start breaking past that support level through there. And if we start to do that, then we may be getting ready for another big rundown through there. Same for the actual gold price as well too, right? The gold price. As I said before, like I do see, at least a minimum of say 1250, 1260, but possibly even a run back down to the 1240 level there. But once again, you can see what's going on right now with gold, right? We had a break out of this level through here. We rejected it, and now we're holding through there. So really interesting, guys. Let's have a look at the let's delete that off the screen. So this is the SLV, just looking at that, see what's happening through here. And this is the GLD. Yeah, so I do see a bit of a topping action here. The tune is actually changing as well too. Moving on to the SIL. We're not getting a very strong breakout yet on the SIL, but we are starting to roll over. The SILJ, we are definitely starting to roll over, getting a bit of a strong breakout. Yeah, it does. And if we start to break below this 875, then the sells are definitely confirmed in control. Lower low, this could be a lower high, but we need to see the breaking of the low. If that happens, then we could see a lot more selling. Same for the GDX as well too, guys. Like looking at these markets through here, we definitely got a nice big strong move up here on the GDX. And this is where I was saying I did a video last week. I did a video last week saying that gold stocks could explode, and they still can explode, right? But we need a break above this 2350 level. And if that happens, as you can see, right, we're squeezing up into some sort of triangle pattern on this GDX here. There's no one really in control on this GDX. It's much more, we're still getting a lot of bullishness here on the GDX, but the GDXJ is starting to give us a lot more bearishness out of the markets through here. So as you can see, right, we've got this nice little higher low through here, a higher low, then a lower low. We ran up, and now we had a big drop down, a big gap down, which generally is, if that happens after a bit of a pullback, and then we get a gap. Generally, what that means, that's like a bit of a breakaway gap. This breakaway gap is actually generally the start of another move to come. Now we don't know how long that move is going to be, but that's what it generally means through there. So it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens through here. But this is what I see happening right now: lower low, lower high, breaking low. So I do see this thing back down towards at least the $30 level, or maybe a bit different there. But once again, guys, here's the thing. Okay, what I'm doing right now. What am I doing right now? I'm analyzing the highs, the lows, and I'm just doing that right now. If suddenly 1 or 2 bars later we start to get a tune, we hold here, and then we start to open up, and we start to create some sort of higher low. If we get a higher low through here, and again, guys, this is where it's so important to flow like water, right? Because if the market holds here, right, and yes, we're getting a lot of bearishness here, but if the market holds here and then we start to break above this high here, what does that mean? Buyers are now back in control. It's not the sellers. The buyers are back in control, and if that happens, then we're likely to see some serious movement back to the upside. We're likely to start. This is ground control. What's that song? Ground control, your major tongue or something? I don't know. So this is where, if we do start to get this little higher low through here, and then we break it back above, that's when we start to have what? We have to start to change. We have to flow back with the market, because now we're creating a higher low, breaking past previous highs, buyers back in control. Makes sense. You know what I mean? So even though right now we're getting a lot of bearishness in these markets through here, and it looks like we're about to start to head down here, if the market changes right now, we must change with it. It's so important to do that. So right now we're getting a lot of bearishness in here. To start to see a confirmation of sellers in control, we need a breaking below the previous lows through here. And if that happens, then we're likely to see a lot more selling in. So that's the same with gold as well too, right? Gold right now, we've got a lower low, lower high. If we start to get a breaking of the lows, like breaking of these lows through here, this 1280 level, if we get a breaking of those lows, then that's when we're likely to start seeing a lot more downside to come out of gold right now. So, but right now we have a lower low, lower high, breaking down. I do see this thing getting down to at least the 1280 level. But if we start to get a nice strong break past that, then look out below for gold, because we're probably going to start to run back down towards those probably the 1240 level, maybe even down to as low as 1200 level. So this right now we're getting the makings of a changing of trend. What do we need confirmation to see the sellers in control? We need a breaking of the previous lows. Okay, so breaking of the previous lows. So if I use the Snagit tool here, about time I brought the Snagit tool out, guys. Right, so if the market's running down, and then we create a higher high, now we need a higher low, breaking past previous highs. So higher low, breaking past previous highs. This is confirmation of change in trend. If the market's making higher lows and higher highs, we run down, we make a low, come back down, and now we break a low, breaking past previous lows. This is a lower low, lower high, breaking past previous lows. This is confirmation of change in trend. A confirmation of change in trend. This here, lower low, lower high, is now the makings of the change in trend. We just need a breaking of the previous lows. Once that happens, what does it mean? It means now we have a lower low, lower high, breaking past previous lows. The momentum has now started to shift to the downside, or the momentum has now started to shift back to the upside in here. So that's what you want to watch for, by looking at the silver and gold price through there. And the same for the J and the JNUG as well too. So, but right now, guys, we're definitely getting a lot of selling in the markets right now. A lot of bearishness in the metals right now. So a lot of bearish tunes are tuned through there. But we need to see breaking the previous lows. If we get that, sellers are now confirmed, and we're now likely to see a lot more downside to come out of these markets. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. The Dow Jones is still looking really bullish, guys. So once again, guys, like I do see I do see once this happens through here, at least a 28,000. Now, if we start to break above this level through here, look at this here, guys. Look at all this beautiful, beautiful time just going sideways through here. All this sideways movement. The market's building up energy. We get a nice breakout. We could be getting ready to go for another run. A minimum of 28,000 would be a conservative target for me. So that's what I wanted to focus on in today's session. Let's go, guys. Let me now go and have a look at the actual chat box, and we will get started. Actually, you know what? Let me bring up this one here. SILGDX, cool. And let's go through to here. Now let me go through the chat box, guys. Just give me 30 seconds, guys. If you want to put anything in the chat box or question something like that, let me know, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Don't. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. So if you've got any questions, put them in the chat box. Big gaps up. What is the futures doing right now? I haven't got my futures platform open. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, big gaps up by that, but we shall see. Alrighty, futures up. Okay, yep. So the futures S&P is up 13 points. Cool. That's just looking at the futures right now. It's not that big of a gap up, is it? So that gap's probably going to be filled. I'm just looking at. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's a big gap up. Yeah, so I am expecting to see a lot more upside to come overall, guys. Doesn't matter what happens with the futures market during the pre-market, but I am definitely expecting to see a lot more upside to come out of this. Preach, my brother. It's all in the charts, exactly. The plunge protection team comes coincidentally as support lines. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the plunge protection team, like what? A lot of people say, oh, John, you don't talk about the plunge protection team. Okay, like really? It's like you got to understand that's how the markets work, right? How do the markets work? If you look at the markets, they swing, right? They go for a run, then they have a pullback. Then they go for a run, they have a pullback, or they go for a drop and then they have a pullback, which is going up. And then they go for a drop and then they have a pullback. Then they go for a drop and they have a pullback. Or they might go for a period of where the market's going sideways and there's no one in control. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, and then they're taking a bit of a breather. Buyers are fighting out and suddenly, bam, high, low, break it past previous highs, buyers in control. Now we're likely to see a lot of upside movement. Oh, bam, we start to break a lower high, break it past previous low, sellers in control. Now we're likely to see a bit more downward movement, right? And so that's what we do, right? We flow with the market like that. It's not about being right with the market or anything like that. Yeah. Charts rule, it's the vibration of the people. Well, that's what the market is all about. The market is all about the stock market, and trading is all about that. And the charts do represent that. And if you don't believe that, then go back, watch my video, the video that I did where I talk about how I talk about how the number one the number one pattern that happens on all stock market crashes or all stock market movements on when we start to get strong movement down, you see that pattern happening. And what is that pattern really? A lower low, lower high breaking past previous lows, or a lower high breaking past previous lows. So now we have a downtrend. And I know that sounds pretty simple, pretty crazy, like pretty simple, right? But go back and watch that video again, because it's about the facts. And a lot of people are trying to we try to make trading harder than it really is. Yeah. So I agree with you, DVLZ. Yeah, but it's grasping the emotions of people. Yep. It's how the universe does its thing. It's too long to explain. Well, it's how the markets work. You got to understand this. It's how the markets work. How do they work? They go for a run, then they have a pullback. Well, sometimes they can go through an extended run, right, which is known as now being overinflated, i.e. sometimes bubble, depending on if it's vertical or not, and therefore we're looking to have a pullback. It's very simple when we start to look at that. Hey, Savage, control your risk. The only way you can play this game in the long run. Well, you got to control your risk, yeah, but you got to be trading probability. Probability is not about, yeah. Every bad trade I've made was what I thought, hope, or feared. A few good ones too, but those were luck in hindsight. Exactly right, Savage. Exactly right. John, instead of making seeping statements about what we should do, can you show us specific examples to back what you are saying? What? Doug, you do realize there's a probability in, like, actually, no, Doug, instead of me backing up what I say, what about you go do the work? You pick one pattern, call it a flag formation. And when you get the breakout, go back, look at 20 different flags. Go back and look at 20 bullish flag examples and see what the win-loss ratio was. That's what it's all about. Seeping statements? No. No, I teach you the truth, my friend. Do you have a certain stocks that you trade, and how do you find them? I have a set of rules that I follow, Vanessa. And with that, Vanessa, then I just simply just look for my setup, and I run scans in the stock market, and then also when I'm trading the forex and futures, I'm just looking at the intraday charts, waiting for my setup to appear on the chart. Only thing I trade, hold is cryptocurrencies, and Dash is crushing it. Cool. Just be careful of cryptocurrencies right now, because if this is the if scenario, if we get a nice big breakdown, breaking past the previous lows, like in Bitcoin, if we get that, then we may getting that. But that's not a blatant statement across all cryptos. Like, there are some cryptos that actually, by the way, we all know, right? We all know that by the time this whole crypto thing is done and dusted, what I mean by that is by the end of by the end of the day, 90% of these cryptocurrencies are going to be worthless, and 10 are going to be around. It's exactly like the tech bubble, right? Like 90% of the companies went under, and 10% stayed. Things like Apple, things like Apple, Amazon, stuff like that. Vanessa says, I believe you are a good trader, making so much money and want to spend time with your family. Then why do you spend so much time on YouTube trying to sell your Master Trader Lab? That's actually a very good question, Vanessa. Let me ask you a question, Vanessa. All right. And picture this, right? Imagine you're trading the markets, right? Imagine you're at home right now, you log on the computer and you sit there and you trade the markets, and you're looking for and sometimes you may be sitting there for 4 or 5 hours watching intraday charts, or you may be doing your scans 1 hour per day. All right. Maybe trade the markets 1 hour per day, maybe a couple of hours per day. Right. And then you go spend time with the family. right? Kids go to school, whatever, spend time with your loved one. Do that for a few weeks or for a month, and now you're gonna go start netting crazy, because that's exactly what happened to me. I went full-time trading, moved to the beach, blah 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 blah, all that sort of stuff, cars, whatever. And suddenly, I became miserable. I was successful, but I was unfulfilled, because it was actually in trading doing that, Vanessa. And that's why a lot of people do companies, by the way. Some of them don't, but I do the Master Trader Lab because I'm trying to share people. I'm trying to share with some people. By the way, you can get a free trial to it, Vanessa. And if you're happy to stay, you can pay a whopping $6 a month. I can buy a cup of coffee with that. But I do that because I really do want to help people and give some tools. At least if people can't afford my private coaching, which is a lot more expensive, right? Where you get my #1 strategy, weekly coaching, and all that sort of stuff, which is the first link in the description, if you want to apply to that. But I do that because I want to share with people like the facts, because I've gotten access. Not only have I made a massive difference in my trading, but over my 15 years of trading now, I've through hell and back with these markets, and now getting access to the 2 different 7-figure traders in my entire career. I see what makes the difference and what doesn't. And so I'm just helping one person at a time get better. So, and that's what happens, Vanessa. I'm telling you right now, is that if all you did was just stay at home and trade these markets, it is a boring ass job. Like, because even still to this day, Vanessa, right? I do these things right now. Right now, as you can see, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning my time. I'm doing this session for you, doing the session for YouTube and the publics. And the publics get the grammars, right? And the public. But here's the thing: even in the afternoon, I start watching the forex and the futures markets around probably about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I watch it right through to the late evening, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, or 7, 8 o'clock at night. Even when I'm doing that, and I'm just watching these markets, waiting for my setup to appear. Because I know once it appears and I trade it, I make money. Simples. Golly, it's boring. It is boring. That's the facts about if you're going to trade these markets, right? And you're going to trade that. Like, it's not, and after a while, it's not exciting. It really isn't. Like, I get excited about doing these things here because I'm helping people. I'm showing people the light and all that sort of stuff. And that's why, like with things like the Master Trader Lab, give you a free trial. And if you're not happy, then you can cancel when you don't get billed. If you are happy, you can pay a whopping $6 or $6 a month, and then get access to some really, really, really good, awesome material to help you get ahead. So that's what it's all about, Vanessa. I hope you can see. And this is where a lot of people get this wrong with that. If you like, I'm telling you right now, you do that for 6 months, do it for 3 months, when all you did was just spend some time with the family, and then just trade for a few hours a day. If that's all you did, my goodness, that really is. And this is the flip side to what happens, right? Because what you think is the success, what you think you want, when you actually get it, you're fucking miserable. Oh, I apologize. I shouldn't have swore just then. I know there's some people out there that watch my videos. So I got a comment saying that some of the Chinese at their schools to actually watch my videos, which I was actually quite privileged to hear that, by the way. So that's what they do. So yes, I hope you can see that. That's why you do. That's why I do what I do as well too, because I'm telling you right now, like when I teach, it helps me. It helps me as a trader, but the majority of it is because it gives me a sense of purpose in life. Because after a while, like when I traded full time. When I went full time, I did that for a while, and I started feeling very unfulfilled. Like, is this what life's all about? To sit in front of a screen and make more money and more money and more money, to buy crap to impress other people that I don't even really care about. It's like what's going on here? Like, yeah, what's the purpose of this? And so then you start to really look at different things, like, oh, and then I start to see, and I'm telling you right now, Vanessa, like and then I started getting then I started becoming part of different other educational companies, and working for them and becoming moderators of live trading rooms and calling live trades, and there's and like a lot of them that actually, one of them that I was part of, I would only call the trades that I was happy taking. So I was happy sitting in front of a screen. This is when I was back in the day when I was heavily trading the E-mini S&P 500, and I was happy sitting there for 8 hours and then only take one trade, watching like 44 tick charts, 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, 5 minute charts, like stuff like that. And I was happy to watch these things unfold, and I wouldn't do anything until my setup appeared on the charts. And then I would only call a trade based when I was happy to take it myself, when I was actually, because I was trading live myself. So I trade live, and most of the time those trades worked out really well for me. But the thing is, though, that trading company didn't like that, and so therefore I left that. I just disappeared from the company, and suddenly that company got something like a few hundred emails blowing up saying, "Where's John? Where's John? Where's John?" Because I was the only person that was making them money. It wasn't just calling a trade because it met the rules. It was like, no, I want the absolute perfect setup, and I'm not going to do it. So I understand sometimes with the way these companies work. And I guess that's what gives me a bit more push sometimes, a bit more push to teach this stuff, to show people like what's the truth about trading. How do you really get ahead in the markets? What do you need to believe? What do you need to focus on? Like, and all these different things that most people don't see, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, good question, Vanessa. Imagine not buying the dip and selling the rip for 14 weeks in a row now. Brian. Well, it's not about that, Brian, my man. It's not about that. Because no one knew exactly that this was going to happen, Brian, right? And no one knows what's going to happen. Imagine, and no one knows what's going to happen moving forward, right? You could say, oh, well, why don't I buy the dip right now and sell the rip? And then something goes down. Like, you know what I mean, Brian? So whatever that thing is, right? What you do need is, okay, this is my trading setup. It's on the chart. I'm going to trade it. So yeah. So Brian, that's looking back saying, oh yeah, well, yeah, well, you know what? I knew that was going to happen, and so on and so forth. And if you did trade that, and you have been, buying, you have been buying the dip and selling the rip for the last few months, you've been doing well, right? Because you're being on the market's been in a bull market. What happens when that starts changing, and you start to buy the dip and then sell the rip? You get buy the dip and it keeps going down. Buy the dip and it keeps going down. What do you think of AG? AG. Let's have a look at AG. AG. Was definitely failing where we are right now. Let's have a look at that weekly chart. Oh yeah, that definitely tells a story. Yeah, nothing going on through there really. We have this longer term trend coming down through to here, and then we have some sort of definitely a channel going on through there. So that's definitely happening through there. We definitely would need to get a breakout of there. No opinions. It's pretty lackluster right now. So we're getting a slight upward movement, but there's no strength here at all. Yeah, no strength here at all. Rocket up having ES up 13 handles, yeah. For new quarter, yeah. Does your system work on penny stocks? Josie? Well, the thing is, like, hey John, see you tomorrow, man. The system that I trade, is based on, it's not a matter of, okay, this is one thing. I'm trying to, let me start with this before I say the answer to that question. Every single market works in the same way. They operate in the same way. They make the same formations. They make the same patterns. It's not like penny stocks work one way. The top 500 stocks work one way. The top 300, the top 30 stocks work one way. The futures market works one way. The forex market works one way. You know, the 2-minute charts work. The 2-minute chart works or operates and flows differently than the 1-minute chart, or the 1-minute chart operates a bit different than the 5-minute chart, or it's not like the 1 hour chart operates than the daily chart. It's not like a 1 hour futures chart is different than a daily stock chart, or it's not like a daily stock chart is different to a 1-minute penny stock chart. It's all the same thing. They all make formations, and they all have buyers in control, sellers in control, no one in control. And then that could be also ugly as well too. You know, there could be winning ugly and stuff like that. And there could be, and then there's also periods of time where there's inflated a lot of movement in one direction, which is called bubbles, right? A big move up or a big move down. What does that mean? So on and so forth. So now to answer that question, the system that I trade is based on how the markets work. So it doesn't matter what market you are trading. You have a really good setup, you're likely to do really well. Doesn't matter what it is. And so, like, if I bring up, actually, you know what? Let me bring up this. So, guys, if you are interested in my actual my private weekly coaching program, then click on the very first link in the description below and fill out the application form, and I'll call you. But I'm going to walk you through some things in my workbook here, some trades that have happened. And I'm going to bring this up here, and I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share this with you, okay? All right, so let's actually bring this up here. Let me bring it up here. This is the workbook that I give all my private clients. I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share this with you here to show you what I mean here, right? So the trades that I've taken in the past, some of the trades I've taken in the past, I've put into my workbook, okay? This is the workbook that I give my private clients here. All right, so what I want to walk you through is I want to walk you through the trade examples, okay? The trade examples here of what it's about. Now, if I go, let me scroll down now. So I'm just scrolling down now through to the trade examples. All right, so this is trade example number 1, or trade number 1. Where are we here? Cool. All right, so this is trade number 1 here, and then we have, this is trade number 2 and trade number 3, and basically they all operate on the exact same sort of setup, right? Exact same rules. This one here as well, and here's another one here, another beautiful trade here, or here's another beautiful trade here. This one here was actually done on oil. Here's another really good trade here, right? There's dozens and dozens and dozens of examples I can share with you trades, right? There's another trade here, and oh, beautiful, look at this trade here, right? So we have that. Now, let me go down. Let me now show you the bearish examples, right? The bearish trades, right? The bearish trades. So basically, so this is the bearish trade here. Beautiful setup. Look at this. Look at this beautiful trade here. This is actually done on the Australian market, right? Australian market daily chart. Look at this one here. Beautiful. That was the Bitcoin trade actually I did. Look at this. Look at this here. Another trade setup. Another trade setup. Another trade setup. Another trade setup. Right. So this here again, another trade. They're all the different trade examples. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, again, this is the workbook that I give you. I give you many trade examples, and in the workbook. But then every single week, I'm posting all my rule trades on the Facebook group, so you get to see what trades I'm taking, whether it's a 2-minute chart or whatever. Right. And you see all the, here's another great example. This one here was a silver hourly chart, a silver hourly trade that I did. The exact same rules. Stock trade that I did, whatever. And look at this one here. Just once you started to fall apart, just beautiful, beautiful trade here. Massive, just got collapsed. All right. Now, I write here, important question. Question. In all the examples in this workbook, in both the bullish setups and the bearish setups, what market and which time frames are all these trades on? The answer is it doesn't matter what market and time frame is on because it works on all markets and all time frames. In fact, the chart setups that you went through in this workbook are Forex smaller time frames like 2-minute and 5-minute trades, daily stock trades, daily crypto trades, weekly crypto trades, and silver and gold daily and 1 hourly trades. Yes, every trade you was what happened on all these markets. So once you, it's not a matter of, and as you can see, right, it's not a matter of having different systems for different markets. It's having one system, and doesn't matter what I'm looking at, I'm just looking for that setup there, right? Now what you saw there was you got a bit of a hint. You got probably 20 to 30% of the actual trading system, right? Because once I have my trading set up into my entry bar, then I need to then I go through a complete step-by-step checklist to make sure that I'm going through there, right? But the trading system is useless if you don't stick to that 100% of the time. I tell my clients all the time, you stick to this, you're going to do well. Right. And then I even say this here, right? I even say this on the exact same page here. What do I say here? Right. I say that, you know, that consistency, discipline, and patience are the exact setups there. Right. And I know a lot of you guys are taking screenshots right now, trying to figure out the trading system and so on and so forth. You know, the trading system is only 20% of your success, 10% of your success. The trading system is actually quite easily. The hard part is sticking to it 100% of the time. It's not that my trading system is something special or something. It's like, what? No, it really isn't. It really isn't. But there we go, guys. I just walked you through some examples of the workbook that I give my private clients, and to get them on there. But then I'm there every single week saying, hey, stay on track. Stay on track. So I hope that makes sense with you guys anyway. So, yeah. And again, it's all about doing that. So yeah. Shirley says DGAZ entry at 109 with a stop loss at 507 with price target of 136.09 with a 5.19 to 1 ratio. Cool, Shirley. The question you got to ask yourself is that, was that based on a trading setup? Or was that just based on because you thought or it looked good or you hope it's good? That's what you got to ask yourself. Because it doesn't matter if you know, let's just say that actually does work out. How can you replicate that? How can you replicate? How can you replicate? How can you replicate? It's simple but not easy. It actually can be quite easy. It's simple. The how it becomes easy is you stopping yourself from getting into all these other crap trades, all these other trades that just, you know, just trying to be right with the market and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's where that comes into it. And it does become a lot more easier as time goes on. And how that happens is that you just stop getting into crap that you just shouldn't be in, and then just waiting for the really good setups. And even if it's a really good setup, most of them will make a profit and some of them won't, some will make a loss. That is how trading is done. That's where it comes down to. It's simple. It's simple. Yes, it's not easy. And the not easy part is getting yourself into a point where you just don't take these crap trades anymore. And taking a crap trade is simply just based on what you think, hope, or fear. So Shirley just said the chart. Okay. So was it based on an actual chart pattern or a chart setup that you follow religiously every single time, Shirley? Or was it based on, well, the chart says it looks good right now, so I'm going to get into this one here. Was it based on a proven setup that you know that works more times than not, and you follow it every single time? Or was this position you put on the markets based on, well, the chart says it looks good, so I'm going to get into it? Because if it's the latter, which I'm pretty certain it is, then who cares if you make money on this trade? It's not about that. It's always about you. It's all about you based on a chart pattern. Okay, cool. Well, surely just as long as the way you're trading with that chart pattern, and only you know this, by the way, just as long as you, when you're trading that chart pattern, that you trade the chart pattern, the exact same chart pattern every single time, then yeah. Let me ask you a question, Shirley, and you should know this. That chart pattern that you're trading right now, what's your win-loss ratio trading that chart pattern? What's the win-loss ratio? Trading the exact same way you're trading right now. And not what you think it is. Not what you think it is. Not what you hope it is. What is the win-loss ratio? Meaning the success rate, because every single system has a success rate. Even Ray Dalio, who operates the biggest hedge fund manager on the planet, has a success rate. I mean, some of his trades, some of his positions don't make money. He has a success rate. Shut off NBC and drink apple cider vinegar. John, you said John is right about sticking to the rules. Well, John, you've been with me for a while right now. You know the fact of the matter is just stick to the rules and you'll do well. And trading all trading is easy, it's simple, it's fun. I tell you what, John, I still do that mantra every single day, my man. Like even today myself. I'm an amazing trader. I'm an amazing trader. I'm an amazing trader. Trading is simple. It's easy. It's fun. Trading is simple. It's easy. It's fun. You got to tell yourself that. So yeah. So it's this is the stuff that I've been talking about, guys, in today's session is really the truth about you getting ahead in the markets. And I don't care whether you join anything that I do. I really don't care. I'm okay. I do well, right? And for me, I just keep getting better and better and better at just sticking to the trading setups. And I know at the end of the day, if I just wait for those really good quality trades and I take them, guess what? I'm going to continue doing well. My hope in doing these live streams for you guys, whether you become part of the Master Trader Lab or a private coaching client or any of that sort of stuff, it really doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't, guys. My hope is that just giving you some information here to think about, so when you move forward in these markets, you start to look at these markets a bit differently. Right? That you just start to look at these markets a bit differently, and the truth behind what it is if you want to become a good trader with these markets. Right? Now, the thing is that like I have one system, and you can trade multiple different ways with that system. Right? You could trade multiple different ways with that system. You could take the same system and only do and run what I do, run scans on the daily stock charts and the ETFs and stuff like that, and see what's come up today in the stock market. Get in today, hold for a couple of days, sometimes for a few weeks or more in those particular trades. Or what you could do is that you could take the exact same system, run the scans, but start to look at, like I have some private clients who just trade the 15-minute chart. So they'll wait for the market to open up, and the very first 15 minutes, the scans will start to populate different trade setup or different potential trades. It's your job to go through those lists to see which trades meet the rules, which trade meets the rules, and which trades don't. And then it's your job to filter down to the most highest quality trade. And then from that, then you place a trade 15-minute chart. You might be in it for a few hours, maybe a little bit longer. And and you could trade that way as well too. Or you could trade like I do as well, which is I trade the 2-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, and the 15-minute charts, looking at the futures and Forex market, and also trading the daily charts and stuff like that using the crypto market as well too. And so you could trade it like that. Like, so it's depending on which way you want to trade. Now I must say one of the one of the most profitable ways to trade is to trade the very first hour of the stock market, and trade the 15-minute chart. The reason I say that is because, especially if you're scanning a couple of thousand stocks that can trade options over, and if you're trading options and you're getting into a really good quality setup, doing that, you could be in the trade for a few hours and make a few 100% return or 100% return or more within a few hours, and your trade's done and dusted. That's the power of doing the stock market sort of stuff. But the thing is that you also got to balance it out with your lifestyle. If I did that, I'd have to be up late at night, and that doesn't work for me. I like to try to go to bed early, get up early. Or you could use the exact same thing where you're scanning the 15-minute chart, and you could trade, and you could look at the last couple of hours of the stock market close and run the scans on the 15-minute charts, and the scans will start to bring up potential trades that you could start to look at and filter down and see which ones meet the rules, which one don't. I get like one client named Paul in my coaching program. That's what he does. Well, he doesn't do the end of the market, but he does the start of the market. But you could do the end of the market and have more potential trades that way by looking at the daily chart, by looking at that, because some of the movements, most of the movements happen in the first and last 1 to 2 hours. And so the purpose of me bringing this up, guys, again, guys, if you want to become part of the coaching program, one spot's just open up. So click on that link below, and you can fill out the application form. But the whole thing I'm trying to share with you guys is that if you are trading a system, it must be based on how the markets work, but it must be based on also what you can do consistently, right? Because consistency, discipline, and patience is what it's all about in the markets. If you can't do something consistently, like I cannot trade the first couple of hours at nighttime consistently because it just mucks with my sleep. And if I'm not getting proper sleep, then I'm not focused. I'm making mistakes, and it's not good there. My sleeping patterns do better if I go to bed early, wake up early, so I can trade the last 1 to 2 hours and all that sort of stuff. I can trade 4 or 5 or 6 hours at night, trading the futures market and the forex market and stuff like that, like the DAX, oil, silver, gold, 6 different forex pairs as well too. NASDAQ, S&P, stuff like that. So like the thing is, it's a wide range, but the most important part is that you stick to a system that that works. Right? You stick to a system that that works, and you work on that foundation there. And John, I'm not sure if you're still in the room, my man, but you know yourself, right? That's when it all started to change for you. You've been involved in this market for 20 plus years. And just by being part of my coaching program for the last year or so, that's when it all started to change for you. Was just, if you just stick to the plan, like that SRS trade, like you just know, and then you can do quite well from that. So want to short the S&P, do you? So do so many other people as well too. You want to short the S&P. Not sure why, but you want to do that. Would have to see an evening star. Cool. Awesome. So guys, that's it for me right now. If you do need help on some of the stuff that I've been talking about today, then grab your free trial to the Master Trader Lab. If you're not happy within your couple of days, you get a 3-day free trial to it. If you're not happy within that, email me. You never go. But if you do want to get access to my personal strategy that I do, and then me as your weekly coach and also daily coach as well too, stuff like that, click on that first link in the description, fill out the application form, guys, and I'll be happy to speak to you, see if it's a good fit for both of us as well too. I've just had one spot just open up, so click on that there, and I'll be happy to speak to you guys real soon. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Keep rocking on, and I'll speak to you guys next time.